Long ago, in the ancient lands of Mesopotamia, people looked up at the sky and wondered about the heavens. They saw the sun, the moon, and the stars, and they believed the gods lived high above them. But how could they reach the gods? How could they bring heaven and earth closer together? The answer came in the form of towering structures called ziggurats, massive stairways to the heavens. The first ziggurats were built by the Sumerians, one of the earliest civilizations in the world. These were not just simple buildings. They were enormous step pyramids made of mud bricks rising high above the flat lands of Mesopotamia. The most famous ziggurat was the Great Ziggurat of Ur, built around 2100 BCE by King Ur-Nammu. It was dedicated to the moon god Nanna, the protector of the city of Ur. The ziggurat was more than just a temple. It was a bridge between the earth and the divine. The people believed that the gods would come down from the heavens and walk among them if they built these great stairways. At the very top of the ziggurat was a shrine, a sacred place where only the priests could go. There they performed rituals, made offerings, and spoke with the gods. The common people never climbed to the top. This was a place for the chosen few, those who could communicate with the divine. The construction of a ziggurat was a massive task. Thousands of workers shaped mud bricks and baked them in the sun. The bricks were then stacked in layers, each one smaller than the one below it, forming giant steps. The sides were often painted or decorated with glazed tiles shining under the hot Mesopotamian sun. The ziggurat stood at the heart of the city, a symbol of power, faith, and human ambition. But why did the ancient Mesopotamians build such huge structures? The answer lies in their beliefs. They saw the world as a place of chaos, ruled by unpredictable gods. Floods, droughts, and wars could strike at any moment. The ziggurat was their way of trying to control the chaos. By building a stairway to the heavens, they hoped to please the gods, to gain their favor, and to bring order to their world. The ziggurat was also a center of knowledge. Priests studied the stars from its heights, tracking the movements of the planets and creating the first calendars. They believed that the gods wrote their will in the sky, and by reading the stars, they could predict the future. The ziggurat was not just a religious site. It was an ancient observatory, a place of science as well as faith. Over time, other civilizations saw the ziggurats and were inspired. The Babylonians built their own towering structures, like the Etmananki, which some believe was the famous Tower of Babel from the Bible. The story tells of a time when all people spoke one language and tried to build a tower tall enough to reach heaven. But the gods were angered by their pride and scattered them, giving them different languages. Whether this tower was real or not, the idea remains: the human desire to touch the divine, to climb above the earth and reach for the sky. As centuries passed, the ziggurats crumbled. Wars, weather, and time wore them down. The bricks returned to the earth, and the great stairways to the heavens were forgotten. But their legacy lived on. The idea of a sacred mountain, a place where gods and humans could meet, appeared in many cultures. The pyramids of Egypt, the temples of Mesoamerica, even the spires of Gothic cathedrals, all of them carry echoes of the ancient ziggurats. Today, the ruins of these great structures still stand. The Great Ziggurat of Ur has been partly restored, and if you visit, you can climb its ancient steps. As you walk where priests once stood, you might feel the same awe they felt thousands of years ago. The wind whispers through the bricks, carrying the voices of the past. The ziggurats were more than just buildings. They were dreams made of mud and stone, reaching for the heavens. And perhaps that is why they still fascinate us. In a world of skyscrapers and space travel, we still look up and wonder. We still build towers not to please the gods, but to satisfy our own curiosity, our own need to reach higher. The ziggurats remind us that the desire to touch the sky is as old as civilization itself. They were the first stairways to the heavens, and in their shadows we still walk, still dreaming, still reaching.